I don't waste money. I spend money. Oh, I spend it as fast as it comes in. But I don't waste it. Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in for another video. I've been tagged. Thank you to the wonderful newly moved to London, I hope to see you soon, Leslie ADINA, who has tagged me in a video which I think without her realising is absolutely right up my street. Now I'm going to be referring to my phone because I made a few notes on here and I don't want to go off. I'm going to do my best to keep this brief. It's a bit of a chatty one. To keep it brief, to not go off on too much of a tangent, but this is, I've had to limit myself to just 5, in a moment hopefully, frugal habits that I have. Now, I have actually quite a lot of frugal habits. I don't waste, well, some of you may disagree, but I don't waste money. I spend money. Oh, I spend it as fast as it comes in. But I don't waste it. I almost lead my life like a not so well off person who buys luxury, if you see what I mean. I don't know if that makes much sense. I don't have a luxurious lifestyle. That's what I'm trying to say. I own luxury items, but I don't lead a luxury lifestyle. Here I am filming in my bedroom, for example, not my separate YouTube studio in my large house. Here I am wearing a super dry jersey dress, not a load of designer wear. So anyway, I'm going to go through these. I've made it a list of 5 and I'll just talk through them. So number 1, taxis. It is, and Bestie Lorna, if she watches this, will probably have a little bit of a giggle. I hardly ever get taxi, cabs, Ubers. I will, but it's extremely rare. I'm quite happy walking. There was one time I got a taxi home from my local train station, and I am justifying that because when I say it was raining, I don't just mean it was raining. I mean it was torrential. I didn't have a coat, I don't think. Anyway, I didn't have an umbrella, right? And it is torrential. The heavens have opened, and I've got my Birkin with me. My Rose Poupre Birkin 30 is with me, and I've got nothing to protect her with, like nothing. So I got a taxi. More for the bag than me, but again, that's saving money on ruining a £7,500 bag, as it was at the time. Gone up now, more expensive. So that's like one of the rare times I've got a taxi. I will get a taxi to and from airports. I will get a taxi in group situations where almost it is cheaper to do that than break down the costs of public transport. But it's very rare that I get a taxi. In Paris with the girls, Laura had a bit of a laugh where she goes, I bet you walked from so-and-so to so-and-so. Yes, of course I bloody did. Yes, it was a 45-minute walk. I'll do that. I don't mind. I quite like walking. I'm not, as you can tell, I'm not a gym bunny. I don't really do exercise, so if I get to walk somewhere, that's my exercise. So I will quite happily do that. And actually, normally when I come back from, if I've had a Paris trip with Bessie Lorna, my husband, like last trip, looked at me and went, did you do a lot of walking? Because I lost a bit of weight just by doing that. We also ate well. Anyway, so that's number 1, taxis. Number 2, now there's a general heading, so there's a few things here. If I can do it myself, I will. And that covers a host of things. DIY, gardening. Yeah, I decorated this room. I have spent my week of annual leave 2 weeks ago re-landscaping the front garden, digging up hedges and tree roots. I took out the tree that was taller than the house single-handedly. Yes, I nearly fell off the ladder, and anyway, but all was good. If I can do it myself, I will. Now, I won't play about with plumbing or electrics because I think that's just going to cost money in the long run. But anything that's almost like manual labour, doesn't require too much skill, I will do myself. Also included that is general facials. So I will it's cheaper for me to buy a few decent products and give myself a little facial at home, you know, and slap a nice mask on and take it off. Obviously I will pay for facials if I do something like, you know, I'm having a relaxing, like complete rejuvenating spa break or something, I haven't done that for a while, then I would obviously pay for a facial. But typically day to day, I'm fairly low maintenance. For example, my nails, you know, I became a qualified manicurist and pedicurist to enable me to then do a shellac course, which is half a day, which then enabled me to be fully qualified, buy from authorised stockists and do my own nails. And I've been doing that for many years. And the main reason was, one, that there's the cost of having a shellac manicure, you know, every couple of weeks, but two, I haven't got to make an appointment. When I want to do my nails, I just get the stuff out the cupboard and I do my nails, and I know I'm doing it with all the good professional quality products. And I, you know, this is a week old. I think it looks alright. I often get compliments on my nails. Oh, where'd you get your nails done? I'm like, I did them myself, thanks. So yeah, so if I can do something myself, I absolutely will. I'm not scared of a bit of hard work. Number 3, not paying full price for things if I can help it. And there's a few things I do for that. 1, I register with cashback sites. 2, on Like to Know It, you know, if I buy something, then I use that again. I owe myself commission, I'm not above that. 3, I will always look for discount codes whenever I'm shopping online. Even if I'm buying like a £20 plant pot, I will look for a discount code. I am also that person that will guess a discount code if I can't find it. Often something like Welcome 10 or Disc 10 works, by the way. So I am that person. If I can save a £5 here or there, I absolutely will. And I will spend half an hour doing it if I've got nothing else to do. So yeah, there is that. And also then I'll also buy pre-loved. For those of you that follow this channel and look at my handbags and things, I will buy pre-loved. I like to buy things new because I like things to be perfect. But if I can get something at pre-loved at good enough saving that warrants it not being new from store, then I absolutely will. You know, I saved a lot on my Louis Vuitton Agenda, on some of my Chanel bags. You know, my latest reissue was less than half price of what current retail is. So I will buy pre-loved as well. So yeah, I don't like to pay full price for things if I can help it. Also, number 4, for stuff that I already own, if I'm no longer getting use out of it and therefore getting value out of something, then I'll sell it. Now, some of that is on Vinted, and like I say, the effort I go to sell an item for like £4, this and the other, and I try not to do that too much because I've got the petrol on the packaging to get to the place to post it, so I'll try and sell a few things at once and post them in one go, or at least sell something for like £8 to a tenner. So yeah, I will, you know, where I put weight on over COVID and there was a lot of clothes I could no longer wear, I've been selling them, or trying to at least anyway. So and also some of the jewellery that I just don't get the use out of. Like, I had a lot of Pandora, you know, I went through a phase a few years ago of I think it's the collector in me as well, of collecting a lot of Pandora. I've sold a lot of it, I may sell some more. I'm not reaching for it, I'm not wearing it, my tastes have changed. I would rather get that money back, get a bit more space in the jewellery box, and save up to spend money on maybe some more luxurious jewellery or some more fine jewellery. But at least I'll get my wear out of that. So yeah, hopefully that makes some sense. And then finally, number 5. I try to spend my money on more tangible items. So I don't spend a lot of money on things like food, for example. Food passes through. Yes, it's nice sometimes, and I do this to have a nice meal out and to have that nice experience. But I do it extremely rarely, and I'm very fussy about where I go. I'd rather spend more money and have a really good, enjoyable experience than go to, say, one of the local pubs here. You're still spending £50–60, and I'm eating it going, I could just cook that at home and it would have been nicer. So I don't often have meals out. I don't spend a lot of money on alcohol and drinks. I'm not really that much of a drinker, and yeah, most of the time when I have alcohol, it's when I'm shopping and it's free. And so often I'm not doing the buying either, so that's like totally frugal. I don't spend a lot of money on holidays either. I'm not against it. I typically don't. I struggle to spend money on something that I know I then can't see. And I know this would be probably more contentious. There's some people that would be like, absolutely, what you're doing is spending money on luxury bags and you can have an experience on a holiday. Everyone is different. Everyone is individual. For me, I like tangible things. I like to touch and hold them. I know when I've been travelling before, I once made the choice, so I really wanted to buy it when I bought my large Prada double tote. And I could have spent a lot of money on the flight, or I could have spent less than £2,000 and got a bag that I've still got years later. I went for the bag. I went for a few hours of being uncomfortable in economy, and I got the bag. Now, I have flown business class. You're probably thinking, you hypocrite. I have done that, and I have justified it to myself when there was a BA sale. But I do have a price point at which I will not pay more than for that. So yeah, so also if I can avoid buying branded goods, even like with the weekly shop, if I can buy something like, I don't know, Waitrose surface cleaner, and it is cheaper than a branded surface cleaner, I'll buy it. If it don't work, then I'll typically we found the price of tea bags, and I drink a lot of tea, we found the price of tea bags has skyrocketed. And Twinings trying to screw me out of 20 tea bags by putting 80 in there, not 100 like you used to. We have noted. So again, I'm buying non-branded supermarket owned blends. Now, if I were to drink it and go, oh, it doesn't taste very nice, then of course I would go back or just try again for somewhere else. But actually I'm hardly noticing, so that's been a bit of a little money saving. And two, also I don't have too many subscriptions for things, and when I do, I work out if it's worth it or not. Now, Amazon Prime, as part of that, you can get Amazon Prime Kindle books. You can just like almost borrow them like a library effect. Now I read you can see it's there. My Kindle is in the background. So again, tangible. The non-tangible, like the in the cloud books, I get free. I'm reading a number of books a week. I can't afford my reading habit, so yeah, I'll download. And for me, a lot of it is about just the experience of reading it to help me sleep and for well-being and all those things. I can suffer with insomnia, so it's to try and get away from the blue screen of a phone before bed, read, get my mind out of worrying about work or anything else. So that was my final one. So I want to say a massive thank you. I'll put a link to her channel below, Leslie ADINA. Thanks for the tag. I could talk for a while about how I save money. There's quite a lot, Don't get a skip, hire a transit van and take it down the tip. 2, you don't even want to do that. Buy extra strong bin liners from Amazon, chop up your shed, spend an entire day chopping up a garden shed into pieces this big that fit into the bin liners, and again do some tip runs. Much cheaper than hiring a skip. These are the sorts of things that I will do. Yes, I end up with the splinters and the scratches to prove it, but I'd rather spend that money on luxury than on a bit of convenience. So yeah, that's kind of the general theme really running through this. But I will say, I will break, you may well then point out, oh, you broke your rule. They're not strict rules. For me, it's about balance. And something that's going to bring you joy. I gave the example earlier of having a facial on a spa weekend away. Yes, that's balance. I'm not doing that every week. So if I do it once a year, I'm going to make the most of that experience to get the most value and enjoyment out of that experience, and get that full rejuvenation and enhance my well-being. So yeah, it's around give and take, and the way that my mind works, each scenario goes through a bit of an assessment, risk versus reward, cost versus benefit, that kind of thing. So yeah, thank you so much for those of you that watched. You may have found some tips there. If not, I hope you at least found it entertaining. I love a tag video because it makes me think. Like I said, I started off with a list like this and had to almost categorise them. So I told you just 5. Take care, everybody. I will see you soon. Be nice if the next video was an unboxing, wouldn't it? I think so. Bye bye.